I'm your host, Davina Shinsky, and you're listening to Live Without Limits, the dreams come true with the right mindset. And today's presentation is called Revenge Sleep Procrastination. What is it and how to stop it? Sometimes life gets so busy that 24 hours in a day simply is not enough for us to do everything that we need to do. We often find ourselves with a long list of priorities, and sadly, in some cases, sleep is at the bottom of the list. Some may consider it a luxury, while others consider it wasting a lot of time sleeping. They would rather use that time to do other things that they weren't able to do during the day. And this is known as revenge sleep procrastination. So, what is revenge sleep procrastination? Well, the revenge aspect refers to the notion that you will be taking revenge on the daytime hours where you were preoccupied by taking some time to yourself and doing what you enjoy doing because you don't have much freedom during the day. So take control of your life late at night. In most cases, these other things involve scrolling through social media or watching Netflix, things that do not necessarily benefit us in comparison to sleep. And sleep benefits you because that's when you get into your deep, deep sleep, and when that's happening, you're getting the rapid eye movements or the REM. And that's also when you're in a dream state. And when you're in that dream state, you're working through that's your subconscious mind working, and it's giving you ideas and it's renewing you and it's helping you understand what's going on inside of you. But often, because we've gotten so bombarded with information, we just lose track of what's most important. So we end up stuck in a cycle of watching TikToks and reels until past midnight. Have a few hours of sleep, wake up, and go to work only to repeat everything at night again. The National Sleep Foundation defines revenge sleep bedtime procrastination as the decision to sacrifice sleep for leisure time that is driven by a daily schedule lacking in free time. It happens because one feels like they do not have enough time during the day, so they compromise their sleep for personal time. The term is relatively new, so if you hearing this for the first time, don't worry, you are not behind. It was originally coined in China, but the English translation is being adopted and used globally. Revenge sleep procrastination is common among people who lead busy lives and are often stressed and burnt out from work or family. Three factors determine revenge sleep procrastination, and these are delaying going to sleep and consequently reducing the total sleep time in the evening, having no valid reason to stay up later than intended, and being aware that staying up late can have negative consequences. So, ways revenge sleep procrastination can affect your health. We live in a hyper connected world. And sadly, we do anything and everything possible to make sure that we get our daily dose of social media, even if it means disrupted sleep patterns. Not getting sufficient sleep comes along with a number of consequences, including constantly feeling fatigued, depression, impaired memory, poor concentration, high blood pressure, and poor self regulation. So, how do you break the revenge sleep procrastination cycle? Get the most out of your day. We only get 24 hours every day. The good thing is that no one gets more than the next person. We are all almost on the same page. So, how do some people get more done than others in that same period of time? Well, the main difference is in planning. Plan your day to every minute and stick to that schedule. Do what you said you will do when you said you will do it. Ensure that your day also has some activities that make you happy. Schedule time for hanging out with your dog or for a yoga class so that you have been wanting to attend. Sticking to the schedule means at the same end of the day that you would have done much with minimal distractions and that you will be able to go to bed on time. Come up with a strict nighttime routine. Stick to a specific bedtime and wake up around the same time every morning. For instance, it might take time, and routine involves me brushing my teeth, washing my face, and applying whatever products I will. Trying that month, planning my tasks for the following day. Or rather, let me say this again, that my nighttime routine involves me brushing my teeth, washing my face, and applying whatever products I will be using or trying that month, planning my tasks for the following day, and listening to bedtime meditation podcasts. Every morning, I try to wake up between 5:30 and 6 a.m. and head to the gym. Religiously following this routine that works for me will help you get enough sleep and wake up on time the following day. Ensure that the last hour of your day before bedtime is screen free. This way, you don't overstimulate your brain and slowly shut down for a good night. Use sleep timers on days where my self control is low. This is by far the most effective way to get me to leave my phone and go to bed. Most smartphones have sleep timers which, when activated, will turn off the phone, shut access to some applications, or activate grayscale screen, depending on your preferences. Using this timer means that your phone will basically force you to log off for the day. Limit caffeine consumption. Sometimes we need the caffeine to boost, but in some cases, it does not do a small thing evil, then it will do us good. It takes our bodies about 10 hours to completely clear out caffeine from our systems because caffeine is a stimulant. That means in those 10 or so hours, you will experience increased activity in the brain and nervous system. This can get in the way of an early night. Avoiding caffeine means that when you want to sleep, you will easily fall asleep and you will also take a more have a more peaceful night. You can overcome revenge sleep procrastination, occasionally catching up on your social media and your favorite shows at the end of the day. And that's not a bad thing at all. But when catching up at night becomes a habit, it can get in the way of your sleeping schedule, meaning that you won't be able to get the required amount of sleep, leaving you sluggish, slow, or exhausted. Thankfully, revenge sleep procrastination is not a sleep disorder. It is a behavior that can be rectified, putting into practice the above mentioned practices, such as sticking to a strict night from routine, planning your day, and getting as much done as possible during the day in using sleep timers in your smartphone. Contrary to popular belief, your body cannot be used to just a few hours of rest every night. Recognize your mistakes and do the best that you can to make sure that you get a good quality sleep that you deserve. And one of the things that I'm going to talk about is that time management is such an important part of getting things done in a day. Now, when COVID got really heavy, or when it, uh, it started to have a flare up, I have a routine of going to the gym 3 days a week, specifically because it's important for my mobility because I'm someone with a disability. And I forgone that for about 6 weeks because I wanted to spend the time getting about 6 or 7 e-learning courses up. And then I found that in the beginning I was very productive, and then I started to slack off, and I saw myself take not staying with the routine, but getting off track and wasting more time reading things. And so I said, to get back into my routine, I got to start back to the gym because that's what's healthy for me. And just read whenever I want to for relaxation. And so I've started back. And what I've done is it's helped me get back into my routine. And this way, even though it's a block of time that's taken out, I'm still getting more done by doing the things that I need to do and sticking to my routine. And when you have a routine, it's so important to understand that that's where you're coming from and that's what's going to help you get more things done and realize social media has its place, but it's not making you money by sitting on social media. And most people on social media are there just to promote themselves and earn money for themselves. They're not they and as much as anything, it's it's a waste of your time the longer you spend on these sites. And all it's doing is making money for the owners of those platforms because they get money from advertising. And the longer you sit on those sites, the more chances you have of actually not even looking to serve someone as much as that you're getting taken advantage of by people who are looking for sites like that where they can steal your identity and then talk to your friends and get them to buy into a scam. So understanding that the meaning of what social media was when it started to how it just eventually got used are two different things. And you need to do what's more productive for you and not waste your time.